1969 Lincoln penny 1-cent coin value, without mint mark and fine condition. Imagine the United States in 1969. Neil Armstrong, taking his one small step on the moon, Woodstock capturing the spirit of a generation, and amidst it all, everyday Americans using coins featuring Abraham Lincoln's dignified profile. The Philadelphia Mint, busy producing billions of cents, struck roughly 1.59 billion Lincoln pennies that year, but one in particular would become the stuff of numismatic legend. In fine condition meaning moderate circulation wear, but all major details still clear, this humble 1969 penny, without a mint mark, typically exchanges hands for just a few cents above face value. Yet beneath its ordinary exterior lies a world of intrigue. The journey begins with the coin's design. Sculpted by Victor David Brenner in 1909 to commemorate Lincoln's 100th birthday, the obverse features a three-quarter right bust of Lincoln, his gaze resolute and eyes set on the horizon. By 1969, this design had stood the test of 6 decades, its reverse serif encircling 1 cent beneath the motto E pluribus unum, still embodying classical simplicity. Under magnification, you can discern the fine lines of Lincoln's hair and the crisp lettering around his profile, surviving in fine examples like ours. Though modest, the styling speaks to a period when artistry and function merged seamlessly in everyday objects. Mintage figures for 1969 are staggering: 1,585,840,000 coins produced in Philadelphia, alone reflecting the love affair Americans had with the penny. Despite such volume, mint errors occasionally crept through. The most famous is the 1969's double die obverse, struck in San Francisco, where die misalignment produced pronounced doubling in Lincoln and In God We Trust. That error coin can fetch 6 figures at auction, an unlikely windfall for any dealer, but our Philadelphia piece, absent any mint mark, avoids those spectacular premiums. Nevertheless, it's important to inspect each 1969 penny closely. Doubling, repunch dates, and even off-center strikes can add surprising value. In fine grade, a standard 1969 Philadelphia cent, without any errors, usually sells for around 20 cents to 50 cents. However, examples showing mild die doubling, faint repunching, or subtle repunched mint mark remnants can nudge that into the $1 to $2 range among astute collectors. Errors aside, what makes the 1969 no mint mark penny truly collectible is its place in American history. 1969 wasn't just any year, it was a cornerstone moment, capturing the tail end of the civil rights movement, the height of the space race, and cultural shifts that would redefine the nation. Lincoln's visage on a coin circulating through pockets and purses echoed themes of freedom and unity, making it more than just currency. Collectors prize these pennies as tangible links to a transformative era, and while the vast majority remain common, a finely preserved, well-struck example can anchor any collection. Speaking of preservation, grading plays a pivotal role. In fine condition, commonly abbreviated F, we expect moderate wear. Lincoln's cheek and jawline are smooth, but defined, the word liberty is readable, and key lines in the wheat stalks on the reverse still stand out. Sister grades include very fine VF, extremely fine F, and uncirculated MSE, but for most hobbyists, a well-eyed F-grade penny strikes the perfect balance between affordability and aesthetic appeal. Beyond standard strikes and legendary double dies, other errors and varieties occasionally surface. Some coins show die cracks, raised lines on the surface where the die fractured. Others bear evidence of mechanical mishaps, like clipped plankets, a small sliver missing from the edge, or lamination defects peeling layers in the copper. While these offbeat errors seldom command massive premiums, they enrich the story of any 1969 penny you encounter. As for market demand, slab specimens in higher grades continue to attract steady interest on auction sites and in dealer inventories. A crisp, uncirculated 1969 Philadelphia cent can command anywhere from $2 to $10, depending on eye appeal and color tone ranging from rich chocolate browns to reddish highlights. Even in circulated F-grade, coins with original mint luster, minimal post-mint damage, and strong strike quality can fetch a premium, sometimes exceeding $1 each. Collectors often pair the 1969 no-mint mark penny with other late 1960s issues, such as the 1968 or 1970 cents, to complete date sets. Because the Lincoln Cent series is one of the longest-running coin series in U.S. history, 1909 to present, many numismatists aim for a comprehensive album, and the subseries of pre-1980 to copper cents holds particular charm. The 1969 piece anchors the set as a mid-century milestone, bridging the classical Lincoln head design with the significant technical errors and evolving cultural context of the era. In auction rooms and online forums, you'll see passionate discussion around die states, color type, and provenance. Stories. Perhaps the former owner found it in Grandma's old coin jar, or it surfaced in the change drawer after a road trip. These personal narratives add layers of value beyond the coin's metal content. After all, in numismatics, emotional connections often trump pure economics. 1970 Lincoln penny 1-cent coin value without mint mark and fine condition. Stepping forward just 1 year, we arrive at 1970, a time of political upheaval, cultural revolution, and continued American fascination with coinage like its predecessor. The 1970 Philadelphia Lincoln penny bore no mint mark, signaling its origin from the nation's oldest mint. In fine condition, that modest 1-cent coin may still seem unremarkable at first glance, but dive deep and you'll uncover a tapestry of design refinement. Mintage figures rivaling blockbuster films, potential errors lurking in plain sight, and a collector community still eager to add this gem to their albums. The portrait of Lincoln remained steadfast, the details, hair strands, collar lines, cheekbones evident even with moderate circulation wear. The motto, "In God We Trust," the date 1970, and the succinct "Liberty" flank his profile, demonstrating that by now, the Brenner design had matured into a consistent icon. On the reverse, the wheat wreath encircling the denomination continued to hold strong, though the thin die employed by the mint produced occasional weaker strikes. In fine-grade coins, the high points of the design, Lincoln's cheek and jaw, show smoothing, but recessed areas like the letters and wreath stalks still retain definition. Mintage statistics reveal that Philadelphia struck a staggering 1,737,950,000 Lincoln cents in 1970. The era's demand for small change, particularly for vending machines and transit systems, drove production to record highs. With so many coins flooding commerce, one might assume that finding a neat, error-free example in fine condition would be a matter of chance, yet even among billions of pieces, collectors report spotting intriguing anomalies. Unlike 1969, 1970 had no famed double die disasters, but other quirks emerged. Die clashes where coins struck without properly greased dies impart faint reverse images on the obverse, periodically appear, visible as ghostly wreath impressions across Lincoln's shoulder. Some specimens show die polishing lines in fields, evidence that the mint maintenance crew tried to extend die life. Others exhibit minor planchette flaws, small dark inclusions, or rough edges where metal flow was imperfect. Though these quirks rarely elevate a coin to millionaire status, they captivate hobbyists hunting for unique traits under a loupe. Turning to value, a standard 1970 Philadelphia cent in fine grade often trades for around 10 cents to 50 cents today. Graded F extremely fine examples might fetch up to $1, while brilliant uncirculated coins in the low MS-60 range sometimes command $2 to $5, depending on color and strike quality. Deep red original mint luster scarce uncirculated pieces can push premiums higher, and coins with full strike details, often called full horns and tail when referencing the reverse wheat stalks, are sought after by type collectors aiming for pristine specimens. Collectability of the 1970 penny extends beyond the individual coin. It fits into broader Lincoln cent collecting strategies, date sets, mint mark varieties, though Philadelphia coins bear no mint mark, and copper set collections. Pre-1982 cents, composed of nearly pure copper, hold special allure as copper costs rose dramatically in the following decades. Many collectors thus treasure these brown beauties both for their content and as historical artifacts from before the switch to copper-plated zinc in 1982. Collectors swapping stories in online forums often reminisce about finding high-grade 1970 pennies in pocket change decades ago, only to spend them inadvertently at a convenience store. Now, with market prices multiplied, even modestly circulated coins have shifted from everyday change to valued collectibles. This nostalgia factor, coupled with the coin's appearance in the closing days of the Vietnam War and significant shifts in American politics, imbues each piece with cultural resonance. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC assign MS-60 through MS-65 grades to uncirculated 1970 cents, with color qualifiers Road Red, RB Red Brown, BN Brown, highlighting the intensity of original mint luster and remaining copper tones. A well-struck MS-65 road specimen can garner $10 or more, while perfect MS-67 road examples occasionally break into the hundreds. Yet for everyday collectors, the thrill often lies in discovering an EF45RB or MS63BN that exhibits attractive brown-red hues and sharp die details. For error enthusiasts, 1970 pennies deliver off-center strikes, double strikes, and clipped plankets. These tend to bring modest premiums, usually $5 to $50, depending on error severity, but they amplify the fun of rummaging through rolls. Imagine unearthing a cent with 20% off-center that reveals part of Lincoln's chin floating beyond the rim, an instant conversation piece. The market for 1970 cents remains robust. Coin dealers include them in starter sets, type collections, and vintage penny folders. Auction houses regularly list bulk lots of high-grade examples, and online marketplaces feature brilliant uncirculated rolls, often at steep markups, to reflect collector demand. Even youth collectors, drawn by affordable entry prices, gravitate toward date runs that prominently feature the late 1960s and early 1970s issues as accessible milestones. Beyond numbers and grades, every 1970 penny tells a story. It's circulated through hands during campus protests, political campaigns, and family living rooms. It bore witness, albeit passively, to innovations in technology, music, and social change. When you hold one in fine condition, you're not just holding copper, you're cradling a fragment of history, a physical connection to an era that shaped the modern United States. The 1970 Lincoln penny, without mint mark in fine condition, may seem commonplace at first glance, but its depth of history, subtle design nuances, potential for intriguing errors, and steady collector interest elevate it far beyond mere pocket change. Whether you're assembling a complete copper cent collection, hunting for minor die varieties, or simply appreciating Lincoln's enduring image, this coin stands as a testament to the power of small things to capture big stories. So next time you spot that copper disc in your change, take a closer look. You might just uncover a treasure from 1970 waiting to be appreciated all over again.